Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Surviving Mars. This was what you guys picked in the poll, and it absolutely smashed everything else, which works for me, because this is one of my favorite games that I played last year, and no one wanted to watch, as is often the case. So we'll give this a bit of a go. We'll start a new game, we'll see what people think, and you never know, it might catch on. Surviving the Aftermath is the sort of pseudo-sequel to this game that's going through early access at the moment. I've covered that on the channel, you can always dig up my old videos. I am lukewarm on that game because they're mashing in extra gameplay mechanics. If you're familiar with it, there's like a world map and a colony map, and the world map just doesn't really work. It just feels like they're trying so hard to put things in that shouldn't be in the game, but that's just my take, being a huge fan of this game. So I think this is a 10 out of 10 monstrosity of a game. I love it, and it's got that 70s retro futurism that I love to talk about, you know, white and clean, a la sort of Alien 1, not Aliens 2, not that I don't mind the 80s gritty Blade Runner cyberpunk future, I like that as well, but I really love what I call 70s futurism, but I don't know what else you'd call it. On the poll thing really quickly, I'm suspending it for the time being. I'll mention it here in this video, just because there's a couple of reasons. For one, I love all the feedback that you're giving me. I feel pretty bad when everyone votes, and I get hundreds of votes on every poll, but there's got to be a winner and there's got to be a loser. I can't cover every game, and I don't want that experience for you guys. Maybe we'll revisit it a bit later on, or I'll take suggestions on how best to handle it, but the format's going to be like this for the channel for the most part. I'm going to cover a new game every day, because I think one is good enough without oversaturating. That way we're always floating something, and if it's exciting and it catches on and people like it, then it will bear out in the stats and we'll cover that the most. That's usually what dictates what I play. I'm playing a lot of hard space because hard space is really popular on the channel. So I'm going to do one game a day, and that's going to be a mixture of what's releasing, because there are all sorts of cool games coming out, like bloody Iron Man VR I'm seriously considering playing. So we can't necessarily vote on that, that's sort of my veto, but at the same time, I'm happy to fill in the gaps because there's not a game released every day. So what I'm getting at is, instead of polling, I will just petition you guys every time I do a new game every day to chuck in a comment what you'd like to see on the channel. Same rules as before, could be old, could be new. I will put it in the bucket, except this is going to be a more considered bucket. I will pay attention to who's voting for what and how much. You know, at critical mass, we could bring back certain things and, you know, take under consideration what's flying under the radar. So every little bit counts. Let me know what you'd like to see on the channel and what you think might fit with our community that we're all building here together. But anyway, just a little bit of housekeeping there. Tutorial, I'm not going to do. I've played quite a bit of this game, but hopefully I remember all the basics. As I said before, I love it. It is a colony builder game set on Mars. It can be a bit of a harsh game, which is really good. And you can, to get bailed out with extra supplies and so forth, you can have missions come from Earth to Mars, but you have all sorts of issues. There's limited ships available. Once a ship lands, you got to send it back. They're the sort of futuristic Elon Musk style ones that land and take off. So then you have to refuel them to send them back. So it's not 100% handouts. So difficulty very easy. I mean, like all games, I'm good at playing the beginning of everything, you know? I guess there's all... Oh, we could play as all these... Oh, new, the Terraforming Initiative. That excites me, actually, because I've got the Green Planet thing. Let's be the Terraforming Initiative. Difficulty normal. That sounds pretty good. Difficulty challenge 200%. Holy Jesus. Apparently these make a difference. What's this? A geoengineer. Forestation plants. Oh, that probably ties in fairly well with what I'm doing there. Colony logo, the Terraforming Initiative. Well, that sounds reasonable, doesn't it? Yeah, look at it. I've got little trees. So we're going to try and terraform Mars. Stuff it. I wasn't planning on it. Mystery, random. That sounds good. Game rules, none. Yeah, that's cool too. Normal, 180. That's it. These all sound reasonable. Oh, look, we get little disgusting lime green ships. So good. So you pick your starting ship and it comes loaded up pretty much. Cargo capacity. I think, can I load more things in? I could load in another drone, it says. Oh, I've got another like 1,000 kilos. So I could take an orbital probe. They're handy. An extra drone is actually kind of handy. And the prefabs, we can't really take much more. You know what? I'll take an extra drone. Thank you, game. That'll do just fine. All right, nice. Select a colony site. If I press random, what happens there? Challenge. Oh, that's pretty challenging. But you can choose your own sort of. And they have their topography steep. Relatively flat. That sounds good. What if I just hit random until you give me a fairly easy one? 200% might be the best we're gonna do. 265. Is this literally the first one that we did? Relatively flat. We got a fair bit of water. Yeah, that'll do. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Might be a bit tricky. You gotta be careful. I think you can brick yourself at the beginning if you're not careful. One of the things I love, as much as I love that 70s clean white futurism, you know, with all the hard edges and that, everything gets dusty and dirty and it affects its efficiency, so you got to keep stuff clean. So that's cool. All right, so no, go away. So let's see, we get a scanned. All right, so that's already scanned. What's in there? Concrete, and there's some loose metals. That seems as good a starting point as any, if we're being perfectly honest, right? So we're gonna zoom in. There's our concrete blob there. Can we pause? We can. All right, we're gonna have our rocket land. Please, 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 please stop popping up on my screen. All right, what is this? A vista. Right, so you get a boost if you can build a dome over that, basically, so which is a good idea. So I think we'll actually go here. That's where we're gonna drop our ship. And down it'll come. Terraforming hint. Yeah, that's fine. We'll figure that out as we go. Explore a sector to scan. Yes, we will do that. We'll queue them up. I could use the probes. I'm not that worried at the moment, because they do an immediate scan, but for the moment, we don't need that. Okay, thank you. Oh my god, I did just reinstall this game, so that's probably what's going on there. So our ship's landed. And we've got our little drones coming out. Look at them. They're so cute. All right. Terraforming hint. Let's get rid of that. Martian vegetation. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, I don't care. New special project. Oh, now this is almost like the thing that I don't like about their new game, Surviving Mars. But this is like you send stuff. Oh, sorry. Surviving the Aftermath. You send stuff there. That's not something we're going to deal with right now. Research tree. We've got terraforming, and it's already partially done. So let's do that. Are these all queue? Okay, cool. So I'm just going to queue them up willy-nilly, just so I've got something ready to go. Milestones, don't worry about this. And sector scanned. All right, cool. Get the ball rolling. So essentially we need to start building. The way they do storage in this makes me absolutely froth. We've discovered I'm a bit of a storage boy. That's the sort of thing I lose my mind for. Storages. So we'll just pop down a universal depot like that, right? And these drones will probably start unloading the ship, because that came with a whole bunch of starting stuff. And they're just going to go and pop them down here, and they put them all in nice order together and that as well. There's that over there. Now, there's an operating radius for the drones. This is, what is this? It's a dozer, so it's for landscaping. All right, so my drones are actually operating within, I think, this radius of the ship. So having a drone sort of facility set up kind of ASAP is a big deal. Let's see, what are we going to do? Infrastructure. We start with a prefab drone hub, but getting the concrete harvester going is kind of big. All right, so we're going to do that. Like, does it show me like a percentage? No, not really. Okay, that's fine. We'll do it like that. And that's gonna need power. My drones, I think that's their radius. It might be this, actually. I'm not sure. So they're gonna harvest the metal. Oh no, there you go. He's taking the goods off over there. So we would have brought the machine parts and metal for the concrete extractor. It's going to need power. So do we have... Oh, we do have a Stirling generator. Which... Now, is that the same as an RTG? I think... No, it's not, technically. Isn't a Stirling... Now I'm thinking of a Stirling engine, which might be something else altogether. But from what I understand, this takes the sort of the heat from a decaying isotope. So it should... I think that's an RTG, but I'm not sure. If we put it adjacent to the building, you don't have to wire it up. So that works out quite well. Now, the thing with these universal supplies is that they have like a resource sort of cap. See, like these polymers that are being stacked up. I think they'll stack them 2 high, or 3 high in this case, because it looks like it's out of 30. But you have to be careful that you do in fact run into like a cap sort of situation. Now, when the concrete extractor digs up concrete, it also creates like waste. So what we'll do is we're going to put a dumping site over here, and on the back of all of that, what we might do, because you can build in sort of spokes, like spokes on a wheel, is sort of the grid base that this game works on. So I might actually just run, for giggles, run a power cable like that so I can keep track of it. Right. Oh no, stop doing that. Hang on. I just got to get... It's right click to pull up the buildings. Just got to get my head back around the building setups in this game. We'll get a drone hub up and going as soon as possible. Now we can rotate that. You know what? We could just slot it in there, nice and clean. So, hopefully our drones will just unpack that really quick, because it's prefabbed. Oh, you can see it's starting to double stack there for, what is that? Machine parts. Machine parts, okay. Alright, cool. So now we've got a little drone factory, and it starts with a couple of drones. We can potentially build drones with our own manufactory or have them brought in. They're surprisingly painful to produce and manage and all that, but that's kind of the fun in this game. No, let's close. Let's just keep that researching. So what we're terraforming, I know. We'll get to the terraforming. We're ultimately working our way up to getting a dome. Now, do we start with a dome? We don't start with like a dome prefab or something like that. But we can make it. We can make a basic dome. We can make a barrel dome. All right. What I'll do is, I know it's too early to place a dome, but I like the idea of placing it so as to get the ball rolling, as it were. So I'm going to pop that there. Get oxygen and water, and they're right. They're absolutely right. So we're gonna do... Oh my god. Sorry. You play 1,000 different games, it gets like that. So what we're gonna want to do is... we can't extract water because we don't have any water underground, but we can do this. You need prefab parts for this building. Okay. Moxie. Well, we can at least make Moxie. So this is an O2 generator. And what we'll do is... Yeah, we'll put it like that. And, like, there's no 100% right way to do all this, but... Like I said, it's the closest thing to roads is pipes and power. Now that pipe seems to carry water and oxygen regardless. The fact that we need a prefab is interesting for moisture vapor. Bring more prefabs or moisture farming biotech. Alright, well, how far off is moisture farming? Magnetic filtering. Alright, we don't see it. Now, see how much tech there is? It's not actually in sequential order. It's random. You'd be surprised, actually. But it gets all shuffled up and you get random breakthroughs as well. So, while there might be some prereqs, for the most part, it's the way you get researchers all over the place in this game. Okay, so at this point, I don't think we can refuel that. Well, we can't. So what I'm going to do is call in... You can call a second, like a cargo rocket or a passenger rocket, but I also like the supply pods, right? I mean, do we own a second rocket? Available rockets, 1 out of 2. Well, we do have a second rocket, right? Funding, 5.1 mil. I quite often like to just... Actually, you know what? I'll show you just so we know. But this is what I usually take a supply pod and just pay for it, right? It's very small. It's disposable. It's a one-way ticket. So what I really want is prefabs. Specifically, I want this. I want a moisture evaporator. I could probably use like a fuel refinery too. 0 kilos. So that's all it can really take. And that's fine. Launch. So now it's en route, basically. Alright, so they're slowly packing it up, harvesting all the metals and that sort of thing. Now, I'm not sure what else we came with for prefabs. We've got another drone hub. Sensor tower helps me scan, I know that. Well, I might actually build a drone hub on the far side here. It's good to keep them separate because they get dirty. And your drones get dirty as well, but it's sort of almost like a redundancy, right? A point of fail. Now, they don't have power until I complete the dome. That's okay. We're just waiting on concrete for the most part, and that's going hammer and tongs. I don't mind having done that, to be honest. Now, landing pad, that's something else we'll work into the system. We don't have to do any of that sort of stuff just yet. I've got a fuel refinery prefab, but it requires water. So that's interesting that I didn't get water or a water building, but I have a fuel refinery building. Well, regardless, it'll be handy to have this up and running. Can I squeeze this in? No, it's perfectly round. Hang on, we'll do it this way. Perfect. Alright, so this thing's turned up, so we'll pop that down there. And that's going to make a lot of dust. That's why you want landing pads. Sector scan. See, like, there you go. It killed that drone. So another drone's got to come over and clean him so he can actually do his job. Alright, so we'll go salvage. So the boys will bust that open. And now we've got a pile of resources, which no one wants to... Oh, I guess it's because it's in that storage, right? So if I were to build another universal depot, I guess. I don't know, maybe we put it like there. There we go. And they'll actually redistribute this evenly across the depots. So you end up having to create these sort of little daisy chains of resources. Now you can get drones that fly as well. But yeah, the actual logistical component of distributing resources correctly is significant. Power, we're short power. So what I might do is, we should have another Stirling generator, so I'll just stick that there for the time being. Now it says that they've got no pipe, which probably indicates that it has to be put on an oxygen consumer and a water producer. Yeah, well that's fine. That's fine, that's coming. Building's not working. Rapid expansion. Mission HQ on Earth has decided to boost the expansion capabilities of your colony by providing a supply pod. Okay. It will carry an RC transport rover on board, ready to be used. Just give the... Yeah, okay. I prefer financial aid. The tech transport optimization... No, give me that. I'll take a new car. Bloody hell. Look at that. Freebie. Plop that down. and salvage that. So this can gather specific resources on its own, which is kind of impressive. So it's slowly gathering the metals up. So it's handy to have. And then there's a third type of vehicle, I believe, which is like a remote drone thing, which is what you normally get on the easy mode. Oh, what's going on here? Anomaly. I don't believe I have an explorer. That's a transport, and that's a dozer. Well, there you go. Yeah, so the explorer would investigate that, and it gives you scientific breakthroughs. Part of me is like, maybe I just buy that. What are we missing here? Concrete, essentially, is what we're missing. So I'm gonna just get another supply pod, right? We've got the money, we can handle it. I want an explorer. And look, even though we're producing concrete... Oh no, that's all I can take. Never mind. Launch. You better get out of the way, mate. Now you can send these on sort of long journeys, but they do have a battery that can run out. It's a cool place to be around. What's this? Another vista. Oh right, because we scanned that, so that's technically the next region over. Very cool. So ultimately we're just waiting for this thing to produce more concrete. 53. There's not much we can really do about it at the moment, except sort of just wait out. There's more power sources. We could shore up our power network for sure. Bit of storage. Different versions of domes. And then there's a whole thing about populating your domes correctly in that as well. But yeah, for the moment... Oh, that's how I usually would do it. So, you can see that, see the spokes coming out? They alternate every second one. So this one has a power and water input. And this is like a footpath where people can, and drones move in and out of the dome. And then you got power, path, power. So it has this weird, odd rotation. And the rhythm I would get into, you know, everyone's got to OCD their own way to success. If you're playing one of these games, you probably have a heavy dose of OCD. So what I would do is go Universal Depot and do like that. Like a little road. Because I'd also do like a little power road as well. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, well we got the Explorer, so we're going to go scanning anomalies. I think you can queue him up as well to scan multiple in a row sort of thing. But for the time being, I think we're doing all right. How's that going? Oh yeah, we're nearly there. So we need to refuel this. The other thing is gathering exports. Exports is this other sort of, it's like a currency, I guess. It's sort of the main interest of the game and why the exploration's going on. So you want to manufacture and export resources here and send them back for trade. So that's why you've got a fuel bar and you've got a resource bar there. Or exports bar, sorry.
Anomaly analyzed. Research complete.
Nice.
Milestone achieved.
All sorts of cool stuff. So we got a spare research. Oh no, alright, so because we completed that research, we got this. Discover 6 planetary anomalies. That's handy actually for research in general. What's going on here? Drone swarm. So there's all sorts of significant techs that you can do. And at the moment I've just stuck whatever in the queue. And you can outsource, so you can pay your budget towards getting a jab of research in. We've got $4.1 billion, but at the moment, as you can see there, rare metals price and export. So we don't have an income flow, as it were. So we don't want to go too hard in the paint on just using up our grants and outsourcing money and all that sort of stuff. We don't really want to. That's not really our jam, you know. The sensor tower, though, what they were talking about, is a significantly good idea. Now, where would that live? There. Now, that should still technically get power, I think. I think either maybe being adjacent to a powered building gives power, but definitely being adjacent to a dome helps. Okay, so the dome's done, but it's a big job. It's a big job and it has big demands, right? So that power situation definitely needs to be sorted. So we're going to get on top of power. God damn it. And what I like, you know, you want to get into a system. We can make solar panels and we can make wind turbines. Now, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. That seems pretty reasonable to me, so let's do that. Oh, hang on. No, wrong one. How do I cancel that? Yeah, I want matching. Like that. Alright, we'll do a row of them.
Sector scanned.
And what we'll need is batteries as well. Now, I might actually sort of try doing a whole bunch of separate stuff. What if we do like 1, 2, 1, 2? Yeah, okay, let's do that. We'll get a row of batteries or power accumulators, whatever they want to call them. Alright. Get some wind turbines going. Uneven terrain, eh? Well, good thing we got a bloody bulldozer. Now, I think it's a significant job flattening stuff. Load resources, build. Yeah, you can use waste rock to build up areas. Come on, memory, help me out here. I think there's an actual way to... specifically terraform. Okay, alright, so that's how you'd probably be able to task it.
Anomaly found.
Planetary view, hang on. Might be in here. Landscaping. Flatten. And then you can... Right. And the robots will help, but he should be significantly faster and better at it. And it's a big job. It takes a while. Okay. So what's going on here? We're not getting enough water by the look of it. And that's fine. I don't believe we built the prefab that we ordered. So we got a moisture vapor thing. We're just sort of jamming all this stuff in ham-fisted like, but we can make a better system. You can see how they all get all dusty and it hurts their efficiency and wears them down. Terraforming boost, that'll be helpful when we get to that. Alright, same sort of thing. We kind of want to research the ability to manufacture that as soon as possible. Also, we've got a fuel producer, which is going to demand fuel from, water from us as well. So I'm going to get a supply pod. We'll get the moisture vaporator. Vaporator. You idiot. That's probably how best to say it. We'll send that. We've got the sensor tower that'll be speeding the map up. And you can already see it's scanning along quite well. We've got water there, but you need to drill that out with a specific building. These are rare, what's it called, materials. So we should be able to extract them and start getting an actual income going, which will be good. But that's sort of the idea. This is broadly how it works. Now in these segments, you put in, you know, living quarters, buildings for you guys to work at. You have to keep them sane as well because they get earth sick. They get homesick, and if you don't manage that, they'll run home. Then you have new generations of kids born on Mars, and you have to educate them to potentially get them into like engineering and science roles. And then sort of push the research and manufacturing along as well. There's a bunch of buildings that just can't do like what drones can't do them out here. There are some hub-specific buildings, and there are some buildings that they, like actual hard labor buildings that they have to do also. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. You can see our whole power system is just shut down, and I haven't built any of that because we don't have polymers. So I need to either import more polymers, or we have to get some sort of polymer factory up and running, which then requires more resources as well. So you can see all the loops are very well considered, and it's quite tricky. But yeah, I'm a huge fan. I absolutely love this game. Love it to death. I'm glad you guys picked it out. But as discussed before, no more poll, not for the time being. We might come back to it later on. But please do keep dropping your suggestions of games that you'd like to see or that are adjacent to what's on the channel. You know, help be part of that community and help us grow together and cover games that interest everyone. And I think we can really do something cool here. Alright team, we might just leave it there for the time being, and I will catch you guys on the next one.